From casino to sports complex, the city of Henderson is eyeing the land where Fiesta Henderson Hotel and Casino used to sit. Fox 5's Drew Andre is live tonight now with details for us. Drew?
Well, John, when Station Casinos announced that it would be selling this property over this summer, the city of Henderson quickly thought it might be some land they'd want to purchase. And they say the $30 million investment will be well worth it for the community. A 35-acre plot of land off Lake Mead Parkway.
It's really the gateway to our entire downtown.
Right now, it's reduced to rubble, but the city of Henderson wants to turn the land into a state-of-the-art indoor sports recreational facility.
There is so much pent-up demand for sports activities. So what we're envisioning is a youth sports, multi-sport facility. So it could be basketball, volleyball, soccer.
The plan would take $30 million redevelopment dollars and $2 million more from the city's land fund to make the deal with Station Casinos.
You know, it seemed most likely that they would be sold to somebody who would use it for a non-gaming purpose. You know, they wouldn't want to give land to a potential competitor. So it makes sense that you might have the city of Henderson buying it.
We talk a lot about pro sports, but this is an opportunity to invest in our kids and our community.
Station Casinos will pocket the cash, and it can likely help support the new projects popping up around the valley. In the Southwest, Durango Station is well under construction. And this summer, the company told Fox 5 it's buying a 126-acre lot at Las Vegas Boulevard and Cactus for $172 million.
Yeah, it does look like Station is building casinos in areas that are the hot areas that are seeing a lot of growth. And I think the idea is just to appeal to more people and try to make that casino as close as possible to as many possible people.
The city of Henderson wants to make the site of the former casino a destination too for locals and tourists.
And so we'd love to see restaurants pop up and shopping nearby, which would be great for the people who are going to be there in the sports facility, as well as for the residents of downtown and the east side.
And Smith says down the road they will want to seek input from the public on some of those possible amenities here at this site. And this deal could be closed by the end of the month. Reporting live in Henderson tonight, I'm Drew Andre, Fox 5 News, local Las Vegas.
Drew, thank you. And Tuesday, the city council will have the official vote on purchasing the land.